In this video, we're going to build with Emergent, one of the up-and-coming AI app building tools, and we're going to build something a lot more complicated than just a basic to-do list app or habit tracking app that you might see in other videos. We are going to clone Duolingo, build a language learning app with gamification, with user authentication, a backend database, all built into Emergent. And to take it to the next level, we're going to build a feature that uses AI to generate Duolingo type lessons in any language, on any topic, and at any level. Thank you to Emergent for sponsoring this video. Click the link in the description to start building with Emergent on your own. I'm really curious to hear what you think of Emergent, so let me know in the comments as you're watching the video how you think it compares to other AI app builders like Lovable. We're going to see if Emergent can really build an app as good as Duolingo. So the prompt is building a language learning app like Duolingo. I'm telling it to use the OpenAI API. I want gamification, and let's start with Spanish only, just to keep it a little simpler. Now, before I hit send, just a couple things you should know about Emergent. It's a really powerful coding agent, and I found to get really good results with it. A couple things you should know. So first, you can choose your model. So this is really nice. It's like Cursor, where you can actually choose the model you want to use. You can go Ultra for more thinking tokens. I'm going to go ahead and turn that on. Now, I think this would work great with it off as well. You do have to have a pro account to do this, but I just want to see how this might affect the result. But again, it'll still work really well if this is off. You can choose the model, basically the agent that you want. So if you're building mobile apps, you'd want to choose the mobile agent, but we're going to stick with the 1.1 fast and flexible default model here. You can connect to GitHub. Your code is not locked into Emergent. And then finally, we have MCP. So if you want to connect any MCP server to your agent, you can do that, or just by default configure Supabase or Notion. So all of this can be added right here. And then there's also memory as well. So you can enable memory for your agent. So maybe I'll go ahead and turn that on and have memory turned on with our agent. So let's go ahead and send this off. So here, what happens in Emergent is on the left side, we have the chat. It's going to think through every step. Something that I really like about Emergent is how agentic it is. It really feels like you have a dev team working for you, and like you'll see it debugs everything. There can be multiple agents at one time, so it'll be fun to see what happens. All right, so sometimes it does ask for human intervention. So it's saying before it starts building, it's asking what model to use. So I'm going to say for one, GPT-5, and I'm going to say, yes, use Emergent LLM key for seamless integration. So I think this is going to allow us to build LLM features into our app without having to add an OpenAI API key. Of course, you can always do that later on, but it'll make it easier to get started. For gamifications, I would say XP points and daily streaks. I would say everything they shared would be great. So everything you shared is a great idea. So for learning exercises, let's say multiple choice and fill in the blank would be great to start with. And then, yes, let's do Emergent-based Google signup. So basically, again, this is where we're going to use authentication through Emergent. So it's an all-in-one platform. And again, it can always switch to other types of login in the future, but it's going to make it really easy. So let's start with that and send that off. And then here on the left side, we can see the agent talking to itself, and as it comes up with a plan and starts building things out. And you can click to just, if you wanted to read more about what it's thinking, you can do that. And we can see it's also calling the memory tool that it has. Basically, it saves what I said, and it's using that memory tool to more accurately make sure it's doing what we asked. And then now it is actually implementing the app with all the features. What I'm really curious about is, especially in this first version, just from that initial prompt, what are we going to get? Because usually it takes a few iterations to get what we really want. So it'll be interesting to see after the just one-shot prompt what we get. Just based on the features that we've seen so far, I would say there are certain ones that make Emergent feel a little bit more of a pro tool, or at least has the ability to be a pro tool while still being very easy to use, compared to tools like Base 44, for example, which is really targeted just for beginners. So the ability for us to, for example, have more control, like have the ultra context window, be able to choose the model we're going to use, have MCP built in, all of that makes it feel like it's a little bit more advanced. So this is something that's cool. So there's an error, and what's going to happen is the agent is going to see those errors and it's going to resolve it automatically. So we have our landing page, and now there's a testing agent that's running. before we're going to test it ourselves. And just to dig a little bit deeper into that testing agent, if we click on it, you can see, so it's a sub agent and it's testing all of the backend tests. And now it's doing the front end tests using browser automation. So it's really some pretty advanced stuff happening behind the scenes of making sure that your app is working correctly. And we can even see here, it's opened up the browser. And these are like screenshots of the actual app, which we're going to use in a minute. And it has built it out, which is really cool. So it took about 15 minutes total to build this out. And we can see it has Google authentication, gamification, AI-powered content, learning path. So let's test it out and see if it actually works. So I'm going to click preview. So let's click preview and then get started with Google. And now we are testing it out and we are logged in. So we logged in through Google. Emergent set all of that up with their Google authentication, which is great. So now it started with 5 learning paths. It looks like 4 of them are locked. It says we have gamification, we have a leaderboard, but it's just me right now. So let's go ahead and start this off and let's go through real quick. Okay. And I'm getting XP. Quickly do this. I'm not an expert in Spanish, but these are pretty basic. Oh, okay. Whoops, I did it wrong. I misspelled it, but that's okay. Okay, that one I got right. So we got 80% XP to get to level 2. All right, so I'm pretty impressed with what it started with. Let me ask what else it can do. So I have an idea. I want it to be able to create lessons based on anything I want using the AI integration. So let's see if it's able to do this. So take Duolingo, but make it super personalized so I can do it on anything. All right, so it says it works. Let's try this out. I'll click create custom lesson. So why don't lesson title be traveling to the airport, learning how to get through an airport, Spanish, and then let's do intermediate and just see what it does. And it's going to generate 5 custom exercises, 3 multiple choice, and 2 fill in the blanks. So let's create the lesson with AI. And this would be really cool if it actually works. Okay, so we're now in the lesson. It created it for me. So let's see. Choose the best Spanish phrase to ask an agent where date 18 is. Again, I don't speak Spanish really. So let me just quickly go through these and then let's see what happens at the end. That one I got wrong. And I like how it actually has some like helpful tips based on what I got wrong. Okay, so this is going to be beyond my level. So I'm just going to type in a random answer. Okay. And let's just complete the lesson and see what happens. Okay, interesting. So basically what it did is it created the lesson and it now added that to my profile. It even created a little emoji that made sense based on what it was. And then I can do it again as well. So pretty cool that it was able to do that. And there's so much that we could add on to this. If I'm thinking about if I wanted to turn this into an actual language learning app, I could imagine that like maybe even as I'm doing this lesson, the AI in the background is generating the next lesson. And you could essentially continuously create AI lessons based on what people are getting right, what they're getting wrong, and build a fully custom app. And this was done so far in like 20 minutes using Emergent with literally a couple prompts. So, and it's an all-in-one platform. It has the backend, the database, the authentication, all built into this one platform in Emergent. And you can save to GitHub so that all your code isn't locked into Emergent. You can bring it into GitHub if you want. I tried to build something that was more advanced, goes beyond the simple to-do list app that you see a lot of times in these types of videos and shows the power of Emergent. And of course, if we kept building on for a few hours instead of 20 minutes, we could build something even more impressive. So I definitely recommend you clicking the link in the description, spending some time with Emergent and seeing what you can build. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think of this compared to other AI app builders and subscribe to our channel to get more free content like this. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.